Hi there, in this presentation, we're going to talk about what design means, and design concepts. Concepts of design. Design. Design tools. Design organization. Design properties. Perspective. Lights. And colors. Design. What the design mean? There is a problem needs to solved by designing. It is more than a group of questions we need to answer. Design is the creation of a plan or convention for the construction of an object, system, or measurable human interaction, as in architectural blueprints, engineering drawings, business processes, circuit diagrams, and sewing patterns. Note: there isn't perfect design or solution. There isn't only one solution for any problem. There isn't bad design. The artistic reaction. It is affected by two major factors. Mental. A mental model is an explanation of someone's thought process about how something works in the real world. It is a representation of the surrounding world, the relationships between its various parts, and a person's intuitive perception about his or her own acts and their consequences. Mental models can help shape behavior and set an approach to solving problems, similar to a personal algorithm, and doing tasks. Passion. Passion is a very strong feeling about a person or thing. Due to the life struggle, there is a third factor is now added. Is the material. Most commonly this factor affects the design negatively. Watching and analyzing. Watching and analyzing everything, the human movement, the forms of the sky, the music that we hear, and even the sound of crowd and traffic in the streets. Use your imagination in everything. Step-by-step design phase. Read carefully the deliverables, discuss with client. Aim, goals, objectives. Watching, analyzing. Questions, expressions. Layout. Primary sketch. Deciding the mood of the design. Upgrading the primary sketch. Deciding the tool. Carry out, executing the design. Feedback, criticism, and enhancements. Design tools. Tools and elements. The design concepts are the same in all kinds of creations. The only difference is the tools of each field of design. For example, the painter uses brushes and paper, the sculptor uses stones and hammers. The designer subdue the tools and create an artistic piece. Graphical elements. Point. Line. Surface, 2-dimension, X, and Y. Shape, 3-dimension, X, Y, and Z. Space, 4-dimension, X, Y, Z, and time. Point and line. Point. 1-dimension. Has no length, width, and form. It dominated field. Line, edge. 2-dimension, has direction, length. Straight. Curved. Broken. Line is a mark on a surface that describes a shape or outline. It can create texture and can be thick and thin. Surface is a 2-dimensional line with no form or thickness. Shape is a 3-dimensional object having volume and thickness. It is the illusion of a 3D effect that can be implied with the use of light and shading techniques. Form can be viewed from many angles. Design organization. Design types and organize. Linear, central, focal, net, organic, freeform. Design properties. Balance. This principle of design refers to the visual equalization of the elements in a work of art. There are three major forms of balance. Asymmetrical balance, where equilibrium is achieved by the balance differences in the art elements within a composition. Symmetrical balance, where the art elements in a composition are balanced in a mirror-like fashion, it does not have to be exact but close. Radial balance, a kind of balance where the elements branch or radiate out from a central point. Rhythm. Rhythm refers to a way of utilizing the art elements to produce the look and feel of rhythmic movement with a visual tempo or beat. Unity, harmony. This principle refers to the visual quality of wholeness or oneness that is achieved through effective use of the elements of art and principles of design. Variety. Variety is achieved when the art elements are combined in various ways to increase visual interest. For instance, an assortment of shapes that are of a variety of sizes attracts more attention than an assortment of shapes all the same size. Movement. Movement is the design principle that uses some of the elements of art to produce the look of action or to cause the viewer's eye to sweep over the artwork in a certain manner. Pattern. Repetition of an element of art, i.e., shapes, lines, or colors, to achieve decoration or ornamentation. Repetition. Way of combining art elements so that the same elements are used over and over to achieve balance and harmony. Contrast. Design principle that emphasizes differences between the art elements. For example, a painting may have bright colors that contrast with dull colors or angular shapes that contrast with rounded shapes. Sharp contrast draws attention and can direct a viewer to a focal point within a work of art. Emphasis. The principle of design that is concerned with dominance, the development of a main idea or center of interest, also called focal point. Perspective. Drawing. There are several ways of representing an object. The main problem is how to represent a three-dimensional object on a two-dimensional surface. Objective reality. Factual description of a form. Graphical representation of the reality how it appears in a drawing. Orthographic. Oblique. Perspective. Perspective. What we see is not the real dimensions. Lights. Kinds of light. Directional, distant, direct, infinite. Light simulates a distant light source such as the sun where the light rays are coherent and parallel. A directional light tends to produce an intense quality of light with hard edges and no subtle changes in surface shading. Since a directional light is not easy to aim or confined to a local area, it is most useful as a part of your secondary or fill lighting. Point, omnidirectional, light simulates rays shining out from a single infinitely small point in space in all directions. A point light can mimic the effect given an omnidirectional local light source such as a light bulb and candle. When a spotlight simulates light radiating from a single infinitely small point in space and has a cone of influence in a specific direction. Spotlights can be controlled conveniently to aim at a specific target. Ambient light is a non-directional light to simulate the diffused scattered or reflected light seen in real life. Often used as a secondary light source. Using an ambient light source alone to light up a scene make the objects in the scene appear flat. Area light has a definable size. It simulates a realistic soft lighting distribution and realistic shadows that vary from hard to soft. Volume light illuminates objects within a given volume, a sphere, cylinder, box, or cone. It gives a visual representation as to the extent of the light. Colors. Color is the characteristic of human visual perception described through color categories, with names such as red, blue, yellow, green, orange, or purple. This perception of color derives from the stimulation of cone cells in the human eye by electromagnetic radiation in the spectrum of light. A color wheel or color circle is an abstract illustrative organization of color hues around a circle, which shows the relationships between primary colors, secondary colors, tertiary colors, etc. Primary colors, red, yellow, and blue. In traditional color theory, used in paint and pigments, primary colors are the three pigment colors that cannot be mixed or formed by any combination of other colors. All other colors are derived from these three hues. Secondary colors, green, orange, and purple. These are the colors formed by mixing the primary colors. Tertiary colors, yellow-orange, red-orange, red-purple, blue-purple, blue-green and yellow-green. These are the colors formed by mixing a primary and a secondary color. That's why the hue is a two-word name, such as blue-green, red-violet, and yellow-orange. Color aspects. The aspects, or color qualities, refer to color combinations that evoke certain emotional responses. Hot, cold, warm, cool. The warm colors associated with daylight or sunset. Warm colors are often said to be hues from red through yellow, browns and tans included. The cool colors associated with a gray or overcast day. Cool colors are often said to be the hues from blue-green through blue-violet, most grays included. Basic color schemes. No color stands alone. In fact, the effect of a color is determined by many factors: the light reflected from it, the colors that surround it, and the perspective of the person looking at the color. In color theory, a color scheme is the choice of colors used in design for a range of media. For example, the achromatic use of a white background with black text is an example of a basic and commonly default color scheme in web design. Color schemes are used to create style and appeal. Colors that create an aesthetic feeling when used together will commonly accompany each other in color schemes. A basic color scheme will use two colors that look appealing together. More advanced color schemes involve several related colors in analogous combination, for example, text with such colors as red, yellow, and orange arranged together on a black background in a magazine article. The addition of light blue creates an accented analogous color scheme. Primary scheme. Primary color, sets of colors that can be combined to make a useful range of colors. Secondary scheme. A secondary color is a color made by mixing two primary colors in a given color space. Some examples are light, RGB. Printing, CMYK. Achromatic colors. Any color that lacks strong chromatic content is said to be unsaturated, achromatic, or near neutral. Pure achromatic colors include black, white, and all grays. Near neutrals include browns, tans, pastels and darker colors. Near neutrals can be of any hue or lightness. Neutrals are obtained by mixing pure colors with white, black, or gray, or by mixing two complementary colors. In color theory, Neutral colors are colors easily modified by adjacent more saturated colors, and they appear to take on the hue complementary to the saturated color. Next to a bright red couch, a gray wall will appear distinctly greenish. Black and white have long been known to combine well with almost any other colors. Black decreases the apparent saturation or brightness of colors paired with it, and white shows off all hues to equal effect. Analogous scheme. Analogous colors, also called dominance harmony, color scheme are groups of colors that are adjacent to each other on the color wheel, with one being the dominant color, which tends to be a primary or secondary color, and two on either side complementing, which tend to be tertiary. The term analogous refers to the having analogy, or corresponding to something in particular. An analogous color scheme creates a rich, monochromatic look. It's best used with either warm or cool colors, creating a look that has a certain temperature as well as proper color harmony. While this is true, the scheme also lacks contrast and is less vibrant than complementary schemes. Red, yellow, and orange are examples of analogous colors. Complementary scheme. Complementary colors are pairs of colors which, when combined, cancel each other out. This means that when combined, they produce a grayscale color like white or black. When placed next to each other, they create the strongest contrast for those particular two colors. Due to this striking color clash, the term opposite colors is often considered more appropriate than complementary colors. Split complementary scheme. The split complementary, also called compound harmony, color scheme is a variation of the complementary color scheme. In addition to the base color, it uses the two analogous colors adjacent to its complement. Split complementary color scheme has the same strong visual contrast as the complementary color scheme, but has less pressure. Monochromatic scheme. Monochromatic colors are all the colors, tints, tones, and shades, of a single hue. Monochromatic color schemes are derived from a single base hue, and extended using its shades, tones, and tints, that is, a hue modified by the addition of black, gray, black and white. As a result, the energy is more subtle and peaceful due to a lack of contrast of hue. Triadic colors. The triadic color scheme uses three colors equally spaced around the color wheel. The easiest way to place them on the wheel is by using a triangle of equal sides. Triadic color schemes tend to be quite vibrant, even when using pale or unsaturated versions of hues, offers a higher degree of contrast while at the same time retains the color harmony. This scheme is very popular among artists because it offers strong visual contrast while retaining balance and color richness. The triadic scheme is not as contrasting as the complementary scheme, but it is easier to accomplish balance and harmony with these colors. Tetradic colors. The tetradic, double complementary, color scheme is the richest of all the schemes because it uses four colors arranged into two complementary color pairs. This scheme is hard to harmonize and requires a color to be dominant or subdue the colors. If all four colors are used in equal amounts, the scheme may look unbalanced. Rectangle. The rectangle color scheme uses four colors arranged into two complementary pairs and offers plenty of possibilities for variation. Rectangle color schemes work best when one color is dominant. Square. The square color scheme is similar to the rectangle, but with all four colors spaced evenly around the color circle. Square color schemes works best when all colors are evenly balanced. Polychromatic colors. The term polychromatic means having several colors. It is used to describe light that exhibits more than one color, which also means that it contains radiation of more than one wavelength. The study of polychromatics is particularly useful in the production of diffraction gratings.